All right, so welcome back. We're here
Oh,
on another episode of Reasonably Hyped. I'm your host, Carlos Macias, as per usual, or a commander of ceremonies, I think, as Daly would like to say it. Please to check that site, podcast out too. Salient Points. We're on We.coms. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But on this one is Deo Blas. Thank you for joining me, sir, as per usual.
and Master Ceremony, how you doing, man?
Master, yeah, commander, master service, something, one of those words. So this episode, man, look, you recently did put up an article, and I know it was a Twitter thread. I was like, wait a minute, he could put these up on the website if he wants. So you did give us some nice tips for your stay in Mexico and Forza Horizon 5 that just came out. That's also on Game Pass. You got me hyped, man. I understand. You went for you bought it, right, and you were able to play it like last Friday or something like that, right? It went live for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was.
It
Go ahead.
sorry. Yeah. So it is definitely coming day one on Game Pass, which everyone recently got like a couple days ago.
Mm,
But you were able, which is like a brand new thing they started for this game, was that you could pay for Premier Access, which I did because I eventually like buying in Forza specifically, like all the DLC and all the packs and everything like that, and doing it this way with the discount because I have Game Pass, it saved me about like $30.
okay.
So if you paid $40, you gave you early access, and I was able to play it about a week ago.
So it's actually one of those things where yes, up front it's pricier than a standard game would be, and also free on Game Pass. So you're really,
Yeah.
going above and beyond there. But like you were saying, it will grant you access to DLC packs, tracks, or whatever else they add in the future.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Right. There's also like an extra car pack. You also get a VIP license, which gives you special access to other different points and point multipliers, which help you progress through the game.
mhm.
That stuff has been there since the very beginning, and you could pay that separately. This time, like once I saw how this is going to be like a premier game for the
Mm,
next gen
yeah.
consoles and everything, I was like, you know what? I'm sold. I'm going all
Dude,
in for
that
this
thing,
one.
and it looks beautiful, man. Like I said, I was hyped for it.
Yeah.
I follow your Twitter. Everyone follow Dale's Twitter out here if you guys haven't yet. But
Nintendo underscore 64.
there you go, there you go. Yeah, because I remember I was hyped for it. I was like, oh yeah, all right, let's. I was, me and Dalen, we were like, let's get on it, man. Let's make sure you're preloaded. We're gonna play it Friday. And I clicked on. I was like, wait. Damn, I had bought it, so I was like, damn. I guess we're waiting till Tuesday, so the whole weekend and a day or two, we're watching Dale's Twitter. I'm like, damn, this thing looks amazing. I did load it up. It's kind of nice, man. It's not fully arcadey though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's on me that I was expecting like arcade controls because I've heard it is more of an arcade experience versus like Forza Motorsport proper. But it's still kind of nice. It does take a little like, okay, wait. You have real cars. They're on a track. They handle in certain respects. But I think I was able to at least get to the point where you unlock co-op. I haven't tried the co-op yet, but
Mhm.
it's pretty fun so far, man, and it looks incredible.
Yeah,
It looks
it
stupidly nice.
looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks so when I bought the early access thing, I was installing it both on my PC and my Xbox One X because I sold my Series X recently.
Mm.
And then so then I preloaded on both because what's nice is that it has a cross save feature, so you could progress on your PC and you could progress on your console, and your saves would go like sync across the entire device. But unfortunately, my PC kept crashing, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, man! Like I have to. I'll play it on my Xbox, um, uh, for now, and then hopefully, like they'll patch it up, so then I'll play it later on the PC."
Yeah. Yeah, it's been
But so
having
I've been
some
playing
some
it
issues, right? Which I think they've
some
kind of
issues,
been
yeah.
ironing out, right? Lately.
Slowly, yeah,
Yeah.
very slowly. I've been able to play it on PC for the over since Sunday. So like the
Mm.
first 2 days, I was only exclusively on my Xbox One X, and even then, like on One X, the game looks phenomenal. I've been running at 4K, 60
Yeah.
frames per second on my TV, and it runs super nice. Like when I go into photo mode, it may take a little bit of time to load because it has like a mechanical hard drive
Yeah, I think
compared
I
to like the
noticed that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so like it takes like those little things take a little bit of time, and same thing with the loading. But other than that, like when you race and when you do like your normal activities throughout the open world, it runs completely smooth. Like there's no stuttering, there's no like hitching, nothing.
Yeah.
The only other problem that they have like right now is because their servers are overloaded. Like there are 6 million people playing this game,
This is a
and
good little
it's
precursor,
it's
right,
huge.
to when Halo Infinite drops, right?
Oh,
because
totally.
I
Yeah,
saw
completely.
Phil Spencer said that this is like their biggest Xbox Game Studios launch, which it's impressive, but it's like, dude, I mean, it's on Game Pass. I mean, if you don't have Game Pass, and it's a, so if anything, 4.5. I mean, this is day one. You said there may be about 6 million players in now, but like day one,
Hmm.
4.5 million players are on there, and I'm sure as soon as more people are like, wait, you have access to this, right? Like you have Game Pass, you have this.
Yep.
So it doesn't sound too impressive, but it is a little like, as far as like if people were buying it straight up, like it was like not available on Game Pass, then yes, I'd be super impressed, right? But Halo, we've said before, right? And I think Xbox just said that they're at like 20 million Game Pass subscribers, so I don't think I was too far off when we talked about Halo Infinite recently. Whereas like that thing will have 15 million people, 15 million people day one. Let's
Oh,
play multiplayer Halo
easy.
or whatever. So stressing the
Yeah.
servers right now, it's going to be good for next month when we get Halo
This
Infinite,
is
right?
yeah, this is a very good litmus test for that because they like it's not just console players that are going to be playing this thing like day one, it's going to be PC crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And so PC like that alone is going to like, jam the servers like hell. So they
Yeah.
better have server blades ready to add to handle all the capacity that's going to be coming down for specifically Halo Infinite because if they can't get their online strategy
Oh,
correct
dude.
on day one,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough. It's going to be really
Hey,
tough.
does this game, so I did notice one thing. I saw a bunch of people's like names that are part of my friends list. Like some of these people I was like, I haven't even talked to in years. Some of these people are from like the industry. I'm like, wait, I haven't talked to these guys in years. And I'm like seeing them race along me. That's like the
Oh,
Drivatar, right? It's doing the Drivatar
yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah, so
But that's awesome,
right,
man.
right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, ever since it's so Microsoft or Turn 10 Studios and Playground Studios have been secretly recording your Drivatar
Mm-hmm.
since Forza Motorsport 2.
Oh, it
And
goes back
so
to that. The way those are
yeah,
racing, even if they haven't touched the
yes.
game, it's taking their data into this one.
Yes. They're
Okay.
taking their behaviors and their like racing lines and how they would their aggressiveness
Mm.
behavior for it into account when they create these like lobbies with your Drivatars inside of
Okay.
the race.
Just as
And
a
that
just
happens.
as a heads up, if you guys see my name on there, some of these turns, I use another car to make sure I make that turn. So if you guys see my Drivatar out there and he's crashing into
Yeah.
you, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Right, right. Yeah. So yeah, no, I see a bunch of my friends that I've never talked to like in a long time, or people that are on like Twitter that I just add,
Mm.
that are like mutual friends on there, and I'll see their names and I'm like, dude, I saw you racing against me, and they're like, it wasn't me, that was
That
trying
was
to
my
bump into you, it
AI.
was like
That was
someone
my
else, it's my
AI.
AI. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, man. I
It's
see what
pretty
you're
cool though.
doing.
I do like it because it does give it a personalized feel, right? Even though
Hmm.
obviously it's their AI or whatever, but it's like, yeah, I'm racing against this guy. And I think there's one fun thing, and then I got a couple more points because I know you got to go, Dale. But real quick, I did see Greg Stewart from EGM. You remember him?
Oh yeah.
He's on
Oh
my
yeah.
friends list, and I was very happy that one of the races I recently did, I beat him by like 10 seconds. I'm like, this guy's the car guy. He was the car guy at EGM, or he's the car guy
You
on their
got him.
podcast
You
now,
got him.
on Player One Podcast. Make sure to check that out. That's a fun podcast. But I was like, I beat him by 10 seconds, and he's the car guy, and I barely
It's
play
a great
racing
feeling.
games. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Have
Like
I seen
how
your?
the game
We're
does
friends
that.
on there, right? I don't know if I've seen your name on there.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen
Ooh,
you like it was like a rally race and you were beating me by like a country mile and I was like,
Yes.
"Damn it."
Yes.
Oh. So I had
Dude,
to like restart the race
and
after
that's
that.
information for that's drive a tire information from I might have played Forza Horizon 3 or something, man. So that's like
Hmm.
going back. A couple more before we got to take off here. There's like a Jeep exploit going on, man. What do can you give
Oh
us a little
yeah.
rundown with will it get fixed? Should it get fixed, or this is just some wacky shit that they should leave
It'll
in there? Or
it'll probably get fixed.
okay.
So like if it, do you know the whole background on why the Willys Jeep is so popular right now
No, not
in the
not not
auction
too
storm?
much. No.
Okay, every Forza that comes around, the community always figures out like the farming of the system. So they always try to figure out how to gain as much points, um, skill points, which means like to do drifting and jumping and all this
Yeah.
like anything you do in the game. You try to farm that as much as possible, and you try to convert that into wheel spins. So and because the
Oh,
wheel
okay,
spin
okay,
is like the
gotcha.
ultimate
We
game.
know that
That's
from your
the
tips
ultimate
on We Got
end game.
Comps, the Deo
That's a
tips.
tip.
Yeah.
That's a huge tip, you know.
Yeah.
So the wheel spins count way more because you either get a car or a huge sum of money. So when that happens, I mean, you just gain positively everything you could possibly get. So
Yeah.
then when you get the skill point, you normally trade those in through the Willys Jeep. So when you buy a ton of Willys Jeeps, they're cheap. They're only like 40 grand.
Okay.
And the game constantly gives you cash, so you could buy like a ton of them. But once you do that, all you have to do is spend 3 skill points, and that gets you to a super spin in the Willys Jeep. And
Okay.
this is inherent to every single individual Willys Jeep that you
Okay.
buy. So then you get the super spin guaranteed at least one car and maybe 2 jackpots, and that's already probably 4 times as much as the actual Willys Jeep costs. So then the Willys Jeep is completely useless once you're done with that. You just sell
Okay.
it,
Look,
or
so
you try to
so what
auction
you're
it or
telling
gift it
me,
or something like that.
what you're telling me right now is I should take advantage. And anybody listening,
Yeah,
if you make
definitely.
sure to figure out what the Jeep exploit is and do it. How long before they patch it? You knowing a little bit of the
Oh,
history of this,
uh,
we got
I give
days,
it I give it
hours.
probably 2 3 weeks. Probably
Oh,
2 3 weeks they might fix
okay.
it. But they might also be so busy with like the server stuff and trying to figure out all the network
Yeah.
code for all the like Forzathon and Forza Arcade going on right now in the community that it might take a little bit longer, but it will get fixed.
Okay.
Like
So make sure to
they'll
take
definitely,
advantage.
or they'll take advantage of it now, or
Yeah.
they might flag you for buying so many Jeeps. They might, because they've done that in the past before,
Yeah.
but I doubt that. I mean, they should have seen this coming. Like they
Yeah.
know that we're gonna be looking for stuff like that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, it's like anybody that runs like MMOs and all this kind of stuff is like, look, and Luis has said it on the podcast as well on over there on Salient Points. He said like
Mhm.
you allowed this to happen, so why blame the community when you allowed
Right.
it to happen? Not that like
Exactly.
purposefully you allowed it to happen, but it's in your code. It's there. That people are
There.
not hacking it. It's if you're hacking it, that's a different thing, right? But if it's there and it exists, it's not
Hmm.
on them. Real quick, Deo. So I hear Playground Games is working on the next Fable, man. I don't know if that's common knowledge already, but do you think? I mean, they're going from a racing game to, or unless they've worked on different types of games before this,
Not that I'm aware
but it's
of.
it's a racing
No.
game to Fable, the Fable reboot, man. That gets you more hype, kind of questioning it, or what do you think?
Definitely. I think I think it gets me more hype because if anything that that Playground Games knows how to handle like the reward system of a video
Hmm.
game and in
Open world
RPGs
aspect too,
specifically
which I think
and
is
an
what they want
open
to do.
world aspect, like those are two things you have to like nail in order to keep like a community down inside of your game. And so if they could get the addictive nature that they have with Forza Horizon and put it inside of like an open world RPG aspect, it's
Yeah,
going to be pretty good. I don't really care about all the graphics. It doesn't have to be like the like most technologically graphical
yeah.
game out there or whatever like that. As long as it's artistic enough and as long as the gameplay is good enough for the RPG, like I'll be excited
And,
about it
and
no
we've
matter
seen
what.
pivots like this, right? We've seen pivots like the Killzone developer, Gorillas. They went to from doing
Hmm.
Killzone, a first-person shooter, to
Right.
Horizon, one of like the best games. They probably outdone
Yeah.
themselves on anything they ever did on Killzone with
Yeah.
Horizon.
And
You
third
know?
person. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not like a far stretch for them to do that. So it gets me definitely much more excited about it. I don't know how big of a team they put on that because it's just I mean, I've been looking at their what do you call it? Their PR, and they've just been recently hiring people in like the art department to like,
Yeah.
build assets for the game, but it should be pretty nice once they get a full like,
And that's
how
probably
to
a
say,
little
full
far out.
commitment of
And that's probably a little
staff
far out,
member.
right?
Yeah,
But
a little
hey,
bit
but
probably.
thanks for joining me again on this reasonably hyped Deo. I'm Carlos Macias again, the commander of ceremonies or whatever it is. And Deo Blas, thank you for joining me again, sir. Make sure
Thanks, man.
make sure to go to wegotcoms.com, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff on YouTube. See you guys next week. Latest.
Peace.